Hello everybody, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like listening to my videos. Last year, when a bunch of countries were signing trade deals with Donald Trump, if you remember from my previous videos, that I said I didn't think that these trade deals would work for a number of reasons that I talked about. But one of them was the trillions of dollars that these countries were supposed to invest in the United States of America. And I said that because a number of these countries had some big companies in them that could put, like Samsung in South Korea, could put billions of dollars into investment in the United States if those civilian companies wanted to. But they'd have to want to. You can't force them. And they weren't going to want to build factories here in the United States where manufacturing, because of the cost of personnel and the cost of buildings, construction, and a whole lot of other things involved, I didn't believe they were actually going to want to do that on any kind of real scale. It's much cheaper to build and wages and all this stuff in South Korea, for example, than it is to do it anywhere in the United States. And now that kind of thinking has kind of come true in South Korea, where the Parliament refused to codify the treaty that was signed last year. So, in other words, we don't have a trade deal with South Korea, one of our best allies in Asia for certain. South Korea and the Philippines and Japan. So unfortunately, I guess I'm reporting that what I predicted last year is coming to fruition, and the first country that it's happening with is South Korea. And they had a 15% tariff that Donald Trump said is going to go up to 25%. Now, realistically, is there much of a difference for South Korea in raising their tariff by another 10%? No, not really. I think the TVs and the phones and all that stuff will just come in and be more expensive. I don't think there's going to be a giant difference, except for the trillions that were supposed to be invested in building facilities in this country is not going to happen. That investment that President Trump wanted and thought he had isn't going to happen, because the South Korean government has officially said they're not going to stand by that treaty, because the amount of money that it would take to do that simply isn't there to do it. I shouldn't say that. it could be there to do it, but sorry, but it's not there for the South Korean government, certainly. And the big corporations, which there's many big corporations in South Korea, they don't want their facilities being in the United States of America. They want their facilities in South Korea. So the deals, I still predict with most of the countries that he got the investment deals with, other than the Arabs, I still don't think is going to happen. I don't think the EU deal is going to happen. In the long term, there will be some investment by the Japanese, but I don't think it's going to be in the numbers that the deal's called for. So do we really have a trade deal if they're not going to abide by their part of the deal? No. And we're going to have to decide what's going to happen. And I think increasing tariffs is how it's going to go. And as you can see from Davos, that the elite globalists who thought they were in charge of everything around the world have now found out they're not in charge of anything. They thought they were, but they're not. That's all I have for this one. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.